What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a very special video because I finally drilled my second desert tank. Now everyone knows that the desert tank is my favorite ball of all time. So I finally went ahead and drilled the second one. Now the layout on my first desert tank that I love so much is 45 by 4 by 20 and I take it with me literally everywhere. So the layout on my second desert tank is 65 by 4 7/8 by 35. Now I went with a little bit longer pin to pap so that I can play a little bit straighter if the old one that I have forces me to play a little bit too far left. So for this video, both of these desert tanks are finished to a 1000 grit finish, and then obviously the layouts are gonna be different. So we're gonna see if there's gonna be a big difference in ball reaction just with the layout difference. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have a desert tank drilled and if you're liking it even a little bit close to how much I'm liking it. And then also down below in the description, I have a link to my Patreon and I invite each and every single one of you guys to join. I'm gonna take you guys out on the lanes now for this in-depth comparison between the two desert tanks. So this first desert tank we're gonna take a look at is the older one, and they're both pin up. So I'm gonna refer to this one as the older one and the new one as the new one. So this is the one that I have the most faith with. So I'm here standing around 22, 23, and the south point does hook quite a bit. So let's see how good these can look. Yeah, so I think I'm a little bit too far left for the desert tank. I got it right where I wanted it, and I absolutely blasted a 10 pin. So on this next shot here, I'm gonna move my feet a little bit further right, and hopefully that'll kick out the 10 pin. Now, I really think that the new desert tank from that part of the lane will actually kick out the 10 pin because it has the brand new cover versus this one that I'm throwing now that's a little bit older. So we're gonna move a little bit further right, see if we kick out that 10 pin. Now, I've said this so many times that I've lost count saying it, the desert tank is my favorite ball of all time. So I'm very excited to finally drill a second one to see if it was just a fluke with this one or if it's just a ball that's really is that good for me. So that was 23 at my feet. I'm gonna actually go to 21 and just try to keep the ball a little bit further in front of me and not give away the pocket as much. Yeah, that's exactly why the desert tank is my favorite ball of all time. It lets me play in that part of the lane that I have all the confidence with. And as you can see, it goes through the pins pretty amazingly. So I'm gonna throw one more shot with the older desert tank from that same spot before we ball change to the new one. So I always enjoy filming, but anytime it's a filming day with a desert tank, it's gonna make it that much better. So again, I feel really confident that I can throw a strike from right here, 21 on my feet. I'm looking at like 6 or 5, but I do drift to the right a little bit. If I throw a good shot, I got all the confidence that it'll strike. Yeah, I mean, making videos with the desert tank at this point is just silly for me because I have all the confidence in the world with that one. That's the older desert tank. So now I'm gonna switch it over to the new desert tank and see what kind of differences we're gonna see on the lane. So this is gonna be the first shot here with the new desert tank. Now, it has a little bit longer of a pin to pap, so it should force it a little bit further down lane, and it should flare even less than the old desert tank. So I'm very curious to see how this is gonna react compared to the old one. I'm gonna stand in the same spot, which is 21 at my feet, and see what differences we're gonna have to make. It is a brand new cover, so I might even have to move left. Yeah, so the core in the desert tank, the flux core, has a very low differential of 0.015. So it's not gonna, the difference in layouts isn't gonna be huge. Now, because the cover is brand new, it went a little bit high flush. So even though the layouts are different, I was still able to strike from the same part of the lane. So on this next shot, because it went high flush, again, it's because of the brand new cover. I'm actually gonna move like 2 left and see if I can get it to go flush instead of high flush. So just now when I wiped the oil off this ball, it is flaring significantly less than the old desert tank. So that tells me that once this cover starts to wear in a little bit, it is gonna force me a little bit further right. But for right now, since the cover is brand new, I'm gonna move to 23 and see if I can still get it to go through the pins. Yeah, oh man. I love the way a brand new desert tank rolls. That is crazy how good that looks. That was 23 with my feet. It went through the pins absolutely the right way. So now I'm gonna throw another shot from there before we get into the versatility test. So I've told a lot of people that the Desert Tank is my favorite ball of all time. And the one thing they always say is, well, you've only thrown one of them. Now I've thrown two of them, and I can say again with confidence, Desert Tank is the daddy ball, favorite ball of all time. So again, another shot here from 23. I really like that last one that I threw. Yeah, that was, footwork was a little off, kind of all over the place, but it still went through the pins. Still, I mean, lucky, I guess, but it still struck. Desert Tank, A1 since day one. So now we're gonna switch it over to the versatility test. So this is gonna be zone 1 with the old Desert Tank. Now, for those of you who don't know about my versatility test, I throw 3 shots from 3 different zones with 2 different balls to see which one is more versatile. Zone 1 is usually around 19 with my feet. Zone 2 is usually around 25 with my feet. And zone 3 is usually around 35 with my feet. So it'll be interesting which one of these two allow me to play that far left, because I don't normally play left with the Desert Tank. So for zone 1, 19 with my feet. A lot of friction here at South Point, so I gotta make sure my speed is a little bit higher. Yeah, that went through the pins really good. I imagine that that one will actually look better from zone 1 because the cover is older, so it's not gonna wanna hook as early, but we'll see. Zone 1, it looked really good. Now we're gonna go to zone 2, and as we progress left on the lanes, my ball speed is gonna have to come down and down and down because my ball roll doesn't allow me to play that far left with these Desert Tanks. So zone 1 looked really good with the old Desert Tank. Now we're gonna go to zone 2, still in the old Desert Tank. And again, I'm gonna be at 25 with my feet. But remember, I do drift to the right quite a bit. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, that was really good. I actually missed in a little, but even though I missed in, the cover of the ball is strong enough to get it to hook in that oil. And I guess I left a fast 8, you know, leaving that 4-7. So now we're gonna go to zone 3 again with that ball, and I really wanna make sure I get it into the friction to see if it'll actually create that shape and go through the pins. So now we're gonna be in zone 3 with the Desert Tank. Now this is a part of the lane that I've literally never played with a Desert Tank. So I have to imagine that if I'm ever playing in this part of the lane with this ball, the lanes will be pretty crispy. So we're gonna move all the way left. I'm standing at 35. Just goal is to get the ball right and see if it'll hook and go through the pins. Yeah, I got the ball right into the friction. I'm actually surprised it got back to the pocket and left a super flat 10 pin. So again, that part of the lane with the Desert Tank for me is usually completely out of play. The fact that I even got there is a good thing. So now we're gonna go to the new Desert Tank and do that same versatility test, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, so we can figure out which one is more versatile. So I will say that this old Desert Tank, or the old Desert Tank, looked really good from all 3 zones, despite only striking 1 out of the 3 shots. So now we're gonna run it again with the new Desert Tank and see. This is gonna be zone 1, 19 on my feet. Again, a lot of friction to the right, so I gotta make sure my ball speed is nice and high on this one. Yeah, that looked really good. And once I get a few games on this one is actually gonna look really, really good. I think though I'm gonna have to give it to the older Desert Tank from zone 1. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think though of which one of these two Desert Tanks is the more versatile one. So now we're gonna go to zone 2 with the new one. So now we're gonna be in zone 2 with the new Desert Tank. Zone 1 looked really good, even though I had to give it to the old one. So we're gonna see, this is gonna be around 25 with my feet, creating that nice little shape. New cover, should have no problem getting back. Yeah, so I honestly think it was a toss-up between the old one and the new one from zone 2. The old one I missed left and left a 4-7. This one I labeled it and wrapped a 10. I'll let you guys decide on that one. Now we're gonna go all the way to zone 3 with the new one. So this is gonna be the last shot of the video here with the new Desert Tank from zone 3. Not much left that I can say about this Desert Tank. easily my favorite ball of all time. I know a lot of people don't love it nearly as much as I do, but man, even throwing the second one, I'm in love with this bowling ball. So I got the ball going a little bit too far to the right, and the ball had absolutely no chance. And that's because weaker cover, weaker core, weaker layout, all that combination just doesn't allow me to play that far left and miss that much to the right with the Desert Tank. All in all, I gotta say, the Desert Tank, for me, 10 out of 10, would highly recommend. Until next time, guys. Well, there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth comparison between the two Desert Tanks. Let me know down below in the comments if you would like to see more in-depth comparisons like this in the future. Click right here to watch one of my other videos. Click right here to subscribe. Till next time.